What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Ray G, joined as always by my man Jay Rich, and this is the Destination Devy Dynasty Trade Show. All the trades on this show are brought to you by our Destination Devy patrons. Patreon.com/all gas, all conference tier or higher gets you access into this channel, or you can go over to Underdog, deposit $10. They will match you $10, so it's risk-free. You get free money back to participate in some of the Superflex drafts or in the Pick'em contest, and you get access to our Discord for free when you use the promo code WAKEUP for the entire 2023 season. So if you want your trades featured, strategy, all kinds of dope stuff inside of our Discord community. Jay, there are a lot of trades, even from this morning. We just finished the Wake Up Show. This is premiering, so holler at us in the chat as we are going through these, and engage with us as we're doing this. We go back, look at the comments. Really interested in what you guys all think about these deals on this channel, Jay. But let's get right to it. Well, let's go onto the Discord real quick. So when you get access, you get a little cool little thing like this. Football guy Matt, you see the Underdog. He signed up using the promo. He's got his trade in the channel. And then if you scroll up, Jay, we've got some really dope stuff in the Underdog strategy channel. You click the pinned tweets and all of the different files and matrices and warp charts and roster construction and scoring matrices for the Underdog Superflex draft. So we got a lot of good stuff going on in here. But let's get back to the trades. And more trades have come in since we started this. So let's just take a look at this one right here, Jay. 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium start 10 rebuilding for 2024. What side would you rather have, Jay? Cole Kmet and Devontae Smith, or Daniel Jones and Daniel Bellinger? Getting that giant stack, or you want Devontae Smith? 12-team Superflex PPR start 10 rebuilding for 24. Which side are you taking?
That's really tough, because if you're rebuilding, I honestly don't disagree with taking Devontae Smith, but I feel like you should be able to get more for Daniel Jones. But again, Devontae Smith's still a top 16 wide receiver right now in Dynasty. Like, he's highly valued,
top
deservedly
15,
so.
man. I think he's top 15.
So at that point, like, how much more can you really get for Daniel Jones? Like, Daniel Bellinger doesn't really matter because Darren Waller's there now.
Yep.
Cole Kmet, even in a 1.5 premium, like, he might be a top 12 tight end, so he has some value, but I don't really want to start him every week. This really comes down to how you feel about Smith versus Jones. I still think I want Jones, though. I still think I want Jones, even if I am rebuilding and, you want to maybe transition that Daniel Jones into Smitty. I'd hope you get some picks thrown in there. You are getting a small upgrade at tight end, but nothing crazy. I think I would probably take and prefer Jones in this instance. Do you feel any differently about this one?
Man, it really just boils down to how you feel about Daniel Jones, man. It's how you feel about Daniel Jones. Superflex QB reigns supreme, man. QB is king. Devontae Smith in a start 10. I mean, he's cracking your lineup every week.
Oh, yeah, you're starting him every week.
Bellinger really doesn't move the needle. He's the second tight end to Darren Waller. So, I mean, he and Kmet can sort of cancel each other out, and I'd give the edge to Cole Kmet here. I'd give the slight edge to Cole Kmet. Do I want Devontae Smith or Daniel Jones? I mean, I kind of want Devontae Smith, but process makes me feel like I should have Daniel Jones. Jay,
I think, Ray, another thing to point out that people need to remember with some of these trades, right, is the amount of starters really does matter, because the deeper that the starters get, I want to say the less valuable the quarterbacks get, but to some degree, like 20% of your lineup needs to be quarterbacks for you to contend.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
So if at that point, that just makes Daniel Jones a little bit more valuable than Devontae Smith. He's still a wide receiver 1, 2, like right around that range, a top 12-ish guy.
Man. Wow.
But I mean, Daniel Jones is a top 12 quarterback, and he probably will be again this season. Even if you're rebuilding, you need to hope that Daniel Jones gets better and you can get more return than simply Devontae Smith and Cole Kmet, because even though you're rebuilding, like, I don't think that's going to move the needle. And when you're ready to contend, Smitty may be in a slightly different situation than he's in right now. We can't project that far out.
No, Smith, I think if you're going to play that game, I think there's more uncertainty around the situation of Daniel Jones than there is Devontae Smith. Smith's not going anywhere.
But the value ceiling is much higher for Daniel Jones because he's a quarterback. That's the point I'm making, right? Smitty, again, for as good as he is, he has that Waddle ceiling where maybe he gets in the top 10, but he can only get so high because he's not the alpha on his own offense.
Man, this is.
I don't hate both sides. I don't hate
Yeah.
both sides. I think it's an interesting swap and the reasoning why you may take each side. But yeah, I think I don't know if I would be cashing out on Daniel Jones necessarily at this value.
Okay.
I think that's kind of where I'm at.
I think you should probably go Jones, but I think that I could freak these two a little bit more and maybe be able to get a little something better than Daniel Bellinger back. So
yeah,
I will lean Kmet and Smith, even though I feel like the right process play in a super flex PPR league is probably the quarterback. I just feel like I probably could do something a little different.
Or you want picks, right? Like if you're rebuilding, maybe you want the picks over a Smitty.
Maybe.
That you could get.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
All right. Let's scroll up and see what else we have. 12 teams, super flex, tight end premium, start 10. This team is competing. These were simultaneous moves, back-to-back moves. So right here, we've got Kyler Murray being acquired for Brandon Ayuk, Trey Lance, and Greg Dulcich. So Kyler Murray or Brandon Ayuk, Trey Lance, and Greg Dulcich. Which one, Jay?
I mean, I think that the contending side does have a factor here. I probably still want Kyler Murray. And if we're just talking value, I'm curious why they chose to go after Trey Lance. Like I guess I know why. You're praying he starts and he's a great quarterback. You have the stack with Ayuk. Dulcich is a pretty good tight end, and we expect good things from him. I don't know if you're going to get that return, though. That's the issue, is that of all the quarterbacks, if I'm trying to compete, Trey Lance is probably one of the last quarterbacks I'm going after in the Superflex League. If I have Kyler Murray and I'm trying to ship him off for something.
He's going to score more than Kyler. He's going to score more than Kyler this year.
Kyler's doing his little squats, right? He might come back a little bit. You never know.
This year, man.
I don't think he's playing either. But I think, if I was giving like recommendations for people, if they had Kyler, Lance would be pretty low on the list of quarterbacks that I would take or try to acquire overall. I'm not really sure what kind of upside you're looking for. Ray, would you rather trade for Jordan Love in that instance, in the same trade?
No, I'm not trading Ayuk, Lance, and Dulcich for Jordan Love. Absolutely not.
No. I'm saying, would you, like you're trading away Kyler, would you rather get that package, but instead of Trey Lance, you're getting Jordan Love?
I still would take Kyler, man. I want Kyler Murray. I want Kyler Murray in that deal. I think there's definitely some upside with Greg Dulcich. Listen.
So the question for you, though, what do you do? Sorry to interrupt you, but what do you do with Kyler? I think that's the discussion I want to have with this. I'm with you. I think Kyler's the pick and who you want.
What do you mean?
If you have Kyler,
he's
saying he's competing.
He got Kyler. He receives Kyler Murray. He got Kyler.
And he's
he didn't
competing?
trade Kyler away. He got Kyler. Boy. Yes. He got Kyler. He didn't trade Kyler away. He traded away Ayuk, Lance, and Dulcich for Kyler. I like Kyler.
Okay.
I like Kyler. And then in a back-to-back move, he sent away Garoppolo, Juwan Johnson, Chris Olave, a 24 first and a 24 second for the 101, the 111, Cooper Rush, Peyton Hendershot, and Samaje Perine. So essentially, Chris Olave, a 24 first, 24 second, Jimmy Garoppolo for 101 and 111. Oh, man.
Yeah, I want Chris Olave. Probably. I mean, Bijan Robinson is great. Do you think you're getting more value out of the 101 than you're getting out of Olave in the package?
Man,
I'm confused. He's saying he's competing. Is he really competing with these moves?
If you bought Kyler and then you're sending away Garoppolo, your quarterback room has to be so good that you can withstand essentially a zero. If Kyler doesn't play, that's a zero in the lineup spot.
Yeah.
So I would love to see what other quarterbacks that he has. He got Cooper Rush, so I'm curious. And he got Peyton Hendershot, so I'm curious if he has Dak Prescott as quarterback, and that's just some insurance there. But at 101, he's going Bijan. At 111, that's Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston territory. You're giving up Garoppolo, he's a live arm right now. Juwan Johnson's the starting tight end in New Orleans. Olave, we know what he is, a 24 first and second. I mean, on face value, I think that's pretty fine for 101, I guess. I mean, I don't know, Jay.
Giving up those picks is really difficult because that team, unless it's, again, a very strong team outside of what we've seen in this little snapshot, could be pretty bad as well. We could see a lot of downside with a roster like this, giving up all of these players for a lot of unknown. You basically got Bijan Robinson
and Kyler Murray
and Samaje Perine, and Kyler, whatever the hell he's going to be this
Kyler
season.
Murray, Bijan Robinson, the 111, and Samaje Perine. 4, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Johnson, Greg Dulcich, a 24 first and a 24 second.
That's like half a starting roster on a bad team.
That's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Would love to see the rest of that roster before we make a legitimate stand on that one. All right. 12-team, Superflex, tight end premium, 24 pick is probably late. We got Justin Jefferson, Big Jets, getting acquired on one side of the trade ledger for Calvin Ridley, the 104, the 111, and a late 24 first. Jay, would you rather Justin Jefferson or Ridley and 3 firsts?
Man, I love Calvin Ridley.
Ridley
I
too.
love, you know me too well. I love Calvin
Ridley.
Ridley. Calvin Ridley's a receiver, is going 16
and talk about it, 104,
12 touchdowns.
104
is at least
JSN.
a quarterback, which is huge.
Or
right?
JSN.
It's super flex. Or JSN, yeah, if you want to go JSN. At least if you're trading away Jefferson, you have a shot at a quarterback. That to me is very important. It's QB3 more likely than not. You get the 111, which we already talked about. We're not too enthusiastic about that. The process probably still for me is Jefferson, but I don't hate someone who says Calvin Ridley can probably give me 70% of Jefferson and you get a ton of draft capital and depth.
Not giving you
don't think 70%?
No.
70%?
1,800 yards?
I mean, that's what, 1,400 yards? 1,300 yards?
Che, I will put
I'm not trying to say it's crazy.
I'll put $500. He ain't getting no 1,400 yards this season.
I'm just saying,
yards.
sorry, okay, 60% of Justin Jefferson if you're going to really hate on him.
Let's say this. I would be happy with 50%. If he got you 900 yards this year, having not played, having to share an offensive field with Zay Jones and Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, if he gives you 900 yards, you should be happy. I'm not banking on him getting me 1,400 yards this year.
And what you hit on is really the issue here. Regardless of what you think Calvin Ridley is or isn't, there is a lot of projection here, a ton. And trading away all of that uncertainty of the 104, the 111, the 24 first to get a sure thing in Jefferson is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Justin Jefferson is the side of the trade that we want. So I think, Robin, Robin 95, you got Justin Jefferson. That'd be very good.
Like
I like that. That's the side of the trade that we land on. Calvin Ridley, 1,400 yards. 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium. Rebuilding team, so I moved off of Daniel Jones. This is interesting because on the last trade, the rebuilding team got a Daniel Jones. Now we're moving off of Daniel Jones and planning to move off of Rodgers also. So Dio traded Daniel Jones in the 403 to get Rodgers and the 112.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think anyone's trading a first round pick for Aaron Rodgers. Like at this point in the dynasty market, he is on the Jets.
No.
Right? Like there's no reason to say he's not. Like he is on the Jets in the eyes of everyone, including Joe Douglas, who said he is coming.
Correct.
But he's QB 28 in Dynasty Leagues right now, right? He's behind Mac Jones. He's behind Geno Smith. He's behind Brock Purdy. I mean, he's obviously behind Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. The problem is what are you really getting for Rodgers? Could you even get that 112 for your Aaron Rodgers? And I don't think so. So what is the upside that you're hoping to trade him for? I guess, you're praying that lightning in the bottle moment where he has like a stretch of 3 really good games on the Jets and you can sell him for a first and a second, which again, maybe.
I don't think
you can get that though.
No.
I'm not going to say you can't because again, the fantasy season, all bets are off. Players go for ridiculous prices all the time. And Rodgers in New York should be a star, but he isn't this guy who throws for a ton of yards. He can't get touchdowns up. Man. But he's old, and I don't think you're getting a first-round pick, and that's where you really lose me, is that if you're rebuilding, the 112 is fine. I mean, like I said, you'll get a decent player, not a great player, and if you're hoping to flip Rodgers for 2 firsts, I'm just not sure how that's going to work out. I already mentioned, some quarterbacks that have no value. You're not
flipping no Rodgers for 2 firsts. It's not happening. It's not happening.
I don't think it's happening either, but this is clearly what they're hoping for. You're hoping to get a first at least, and probably a first and a second. I don't know why you'd make this bet if you're not hoping for that. And I would take Daniel Jones easily in this case.
I could see this move if you were a contending team. I just think it's a lot of risk as a rebuilder to acquire. First of all, the 112 for Daniel Jones. Give me Daniel Jones over that all day. Like in Superflex, all day. Daniel Jones over the 112. Everything hinges on what he could sell Rodgers for. And if I had to guess right now, I think the ceiling on that is like a second. The 23, 24 second. Maybe? So is a first and a second worth Daniel Jones in the 403? I would have rather gone a different direction. And again, planning to move off of Rodgers, because we're talking about this in the optimistic way that he goes out there and smashes first. What if he goes out there and looks all of his age and he's not very good? Or I mean, you moved off of a young quarterback for an old one, and then you got, for your troubles, you were able to pick up Josh Downs for your troubles. You know, Aaron Rodgers and Josh Downs. Don't like it, Jay. I think this is a deal that I just would not have done. I would have I'd rather hold Jones in this one. I'm not in on Rodgers, man. I'm not in on Rodgers. Value-wise,
a couple trades we've seen, right? It's just the value for Daniel Jones isn't quite there to where we want to move him quite yet.
Yeah,
that's really the big problem.
All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see if we could pull this one up. Rebuild into contender. Superflex start 11. Other quarterback is Justin Fields. We've got Deshaun Watson in the 408 being acquired for Ramondre Stevenson, Sam Howell, the 103, and the 112. So Deshaun Watson or the 103, the 112, Sam Howell, and Ramondre Stevenson, Jay?
Yeah, give me Deshaun Watson. Ray, I know that you've been very outspoken about this in the Discord. I don't know if it has been as much on Twitter about your biggest sell of the offseason at running back is Ramondre Stevenson. So it's nice to see some of our patrons action on some of that. But yeah, anytime you can tier up at quarterback, even though, yes, you're trading away a probably quarterback drafted at 103, give me Watson all day, every day. Stevenson's a great running back, but if I can get a Watson for that price, I'd be doing it all the time. Yeah,
Watson and Fields. Don't you have that in one of our leagues, Heisman League? Don't you have Watson and Fields?
Oh no, I traded Fields for Watson. Actually, I have Hurts. I have Hurts and Watson now.
Hurts, even better.
In Royal Rumble,
even better. Hurts and Watson. Yeah, I like Deshaun Watson. I think I will say this is a competitive. This is a competitive like offer, right? 103. That's a quarterback. 112, that's Josh Downs, Quentin Johnston territory, Zach Charbonnet. Ramondre Stevenson is a good running back, and Sam Howell. There's some maybe some.
Hey, you're sending a quarterback back, right? So you're giving them. So I think it's a great construction of a package because you're saying, oh, you can take Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, and you get Sam Howell,
and you get
you get a top 12 running back, and Ramondre Stevenson,
and you get another first. It's a
good sell.
This is a great trade construction, like it is, because the other side, I'm getting two quarterbacks, I'm getting a top 12 running back, and I'm getting an additional first round pick, all for Deshaun Watson. So really good offer. This is a good offer, and I would prefer the Deshaun Watson side of that deal. I'm kind of high on Deshaun Watson this year. I think he's going to be a good player. All right, we've got 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 10. Saquon Barkley or David Montgomery in a 24 first?
Ray, this is a tough one. I don't hate the tier down here, and I need to know your thoughts because I do. There is a world where David Montgomery is very good this season. I think both players you kind of view in a year-to-year lens, especially with Barkley on the tag. I don't really hate this tier down. You're getting David Montgomery, who isn't going to produce like Barkley, but he could produce enough to where he is good enough to take on that first and that downgraded production. Is there any world where I don't think you would make the Demont and the first trade for Barkley, but is there any world where you would trade Barkley away for Demont and that first? Because I don't hate that tier down myself.
Man, what a world that we've come to where we're looking at the player who had the feet of Saquon Barkley, the speed of Walter Payton, the power of Ezekiel Elliott, and now we're about to make that deal and trade Saquon Barkley for said asset.
Well, they acquired Saquon, so let's talk about that as well, right?
In start 10, give me. I don't think it's a bad tier. I want Saquon Barkley. Like in start 10.
Would you tier up though?
Monty in the first for Barkley? Probably. I mean, probably not, but I don't think this is a bad price to pay for Saquon Barkley. I'm not in the business of buying older running backs. I just don't want to do that. At least, let me say it like this. Older running backs that are still in their prime. I want the ones that nobody else wants anymore, that are dirt cheap, that nobody else wants them anymore,
Zeke.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe not that cooked, but the ones that people are kind of like, I don't think Dalvin Cook's going to be any good anymore. I don't think Alvin Kamara is going to be any good anymore. Aaron Jones is old. Give me all of those guys. So I don't want to, I'm not in the business of buying running backs, but if you wanted to get a true hammer, bell cow, stud, only 26 years old, and all you had to pay was Monty in a first, not bad. The leverage seems to be on the Monty in the first side. Now, the reality is he's still sharing a backfield with DeAndre Swift, Jay. Like, he's still in, and DeAndre Swift is still very, very good. Is he some 300-touch bell cow running back in the traditional sense of the word? No. And he'll never be that. But he's very efficient. He's still in that backfield. So I'd rather have Barkley. I don't mind the tier up, especially if you're trying to go get it. Name of the game is to fucking win, man. I want to win the fantasy league. Saquon Barkley, I think, provides you that a little bit more. And if that does help him get to the championship and that 24 first is late, I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it for a 2-year bet. I think this is a good trade for both sides, man. I can definitely understand getting the first and Monty back. I prefer Saquon Barkley, but I do understand the leverage of getting the first with David Montgomery.
Does half PPR change it for you at all? Because again, right? So it is a half PPR. So I think, then I think it leans more the rushing and the touchdown upside than it does obviously the pass catching, which both can do. But to your point, Swift will be more heavily involved in the passing game based off the roster that they have right now. And Barkley should be the bell cow going forward for the Giants.
10-team Superflex best ball needed to get younger. Chris Godwin in the 203 or Amon-Ra St. Brown. What side do you want, Jay?
Amon-Ra. All day long.
Really?
All day long.
Really?
Yeah, I like Godwin, but I don't think I would hesitate to, if all I need to trade away is my 203 to go from Godwin to Amon-Ra. And you know me, like, I'm not a huge Amon-Ra guy. I think his value is near his ceiling right now, but I don't think that Godwin's necessarily going anywhere either in terms of value. He's probably on the Mike Evans trajectory and could be on the way out because, again, that team is in shambles.
We just talked. I want to buy some Godwin because
you want Godwin?
I do. I'm not saying I want this. I like, you know me. I've been Amon-Ra since
you're an Amon-Ra guy.
I'm an Amon-Ra
right?
guy.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in general, Godwin's the type of receiver. He's still young, 27 years old, Jay. No matter who's at quarterback, all he does is go get 140 targets. That's all he does. When he's on the field, he's getting 140, 150 targets no matter what.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know if there's a huge... What were their fantasy points per game last year? Go to Player Profiler, pull that up. What did Godwin score per game versus Amon-Ra St. Brown last year? Because without looking this up, Jay, feels like they probably were a little closer than we may think. So when you're talking about Godwin in the 203, maybe it's not quite enough for Amon-Ra St. Brown, but per game basis, I'm very curious as to see where those two wide receivers finished last season because I don't have that off the top of my head. And I think he made 2 different trades. So that was a 10-team. So you want studs, and I'm not worried about depth. So I think I lean Amon-Ra with you as well. He also made another trade, 12-team Superflex. He's loaded at receiver. His other quarterbacks are Mahomes and Mac Jones, league champ last season. He traded away Deshaun Watson and Drake London to get Josh Allen, and we don't even need to wait for that one because in a 12-team Superflex, Jay,
Josh Allen.
And I love Drake London and Deshaun Watson. Sometimes you got to make it appear as if you're paying up, but Drake London's quarterback situation very shaky. Watson, we like him, but Josh Allen's on a different planet. Did you pull up the points per game for Godwin and Amon-Ra?
Yeah, so 14-9 for Godwin. And to your point, 142 targets, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, 146 targets, 16.7 points per game. So not a massive upgrade, but definitely, there's a bit of a gap there. So it's not terrible overall. But again, that's with Tom Brady. And remember, Ray, he led the league in pass attempts. The Bucs are not leading the league in pass attempts this year. So that does change things a little bit. But to your point, like Godwin's in the range of a receiver that it doesn't hurt to take a shot at him. He's in the range with McLaurin, Burks, Pittman, Deebo Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, Marquise Brown. Like, they could all be great, or they could all have kind of down seasons depending on how you view each player. I don't mind the tier up, though. It's a pretty modest price to play for a guy who's like in the top 10 right now. You're going from receiver 28 all the way up to wide receiver 7, and all you pay is a 203.
Man, Deshaun Watson getting traded left and right. Tim, Dynasty Logic, Heisman tier member, 12-team Superflex, PPR start 11. He gave up DJ Moore the 301 and the 24 first and got Deshaun Watson in the 502. Jay, 12-team Superflex start 11. Give me Deshaun Watson.
Easy. Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
All
you gave up was a receiver and a first?
Yeah,
Easy
receiver
peasy.
and a first for Watson and a receiver that goes in a situation where we don't think the passing volume is even going to be, maybe not what he's even seen in Carolina. So
Probably not.
Yeah, love Deshaun
Right?
Watson on that side of the deal. Good deal. Good deal. Where else do we want to go, Jay? Oh, boy.
Holy smokes.
That's a lot. That's single quarterback, too. Let's do it. 1 QB, start 8.
Start 8? I mean, just give me the players at that point.
I'm going to take a page out of my friends Shane and Clay and Scott Connor's Dynasty Trades in 5 book. I want hammers. Start 8. I want hammers. I don't care about depth. I don't care about building the bench. I want hammers, Jay. Alex received Stephon Diggs, Jonathan Taylor, and Rashad Bateman for the 105, the 107, the 111, the 210, the 205, 224 thirds, and a 24 first. Jay, I want.
Give me the players.
Diggs. I want Diggs. I want Allen, Taylor, and I want Bateman. I want hammers. And he's got
Trade
101.
away basically nothing to get all those players.
101, so Bijan locked. 103, JSN or Jahmyr Gibbs locked.
Yep.
I mean, yes. Take my 105, my 107, my 111, my 24 first that's going to be late. And then one QB, he said all the firsts are going to be late.
Yeah.
Jay.
Easy.
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 Give me hammers.
Too easy.
Yeah. Good flex, Alex. Good flex. All right, price in here. 12-team Superflex PPR. I got the Hills side. I know it feels like I'm giving up on Treylon and J-Mo too soon, but felt Tyreek gives me a proven commodity for 3 years. So Tyreek Hill and Taysom Hill or Treylon Burks, Jameson Williams in the 207, Jay?
I think it's Tyreek Hill, but I'm curious what people think of this one because everyone loves J-Mo. Top 50 in Dynasty Leagues, and the dude hasn't done anything. He has like 2 targets in his whole career, and he's still a top 50 player. Burks, still a top 25 wide receiver, so people still like him. You are getting the security of Hill, and so I don't hate the move. I'm curious how it would play out for them. I don't know if I would I guess I probably would make that trade now that I think about it. If you need those proven points, Hill's obviously the guy you want to go get. You clearly are giving up on Burks, and Jameson Williams is kind of a we'll see. But I think I would take Hill here. I'm just curious how it would play out for them over the long term, whether or not J-Mo can ultimately become a pretty good asset, and Burks the same thing in his offense in Tennessee.
There's no doubt what Tyreek is going to give you. I mean, you know what Tyreek's going to give you. He's going to give you 1,400 plus yards. He's going to score touchdowns. They're going to throw the ball. He's going to provide big plays. If there are any crazy bonuses in there, he's going to get you those. He's Tyreek freaking Hill, a generational type talent at receiver for his size and his skill set. I mean, elite world-class speed. Treylon and J-Mo, 2 promising rookies, both first-round picks last year, the 207 and the 12 team. It's a good range for a player, right? That's Tank Bigsby, Roschon Johnson territory potentially, maybe a tight end. Well, it's not tight end premium. So, I don't mind it. And he knows it, right? Bryce says, I know it feels like I'm giving up on these guys too soon, but I just wanted the security of Tyreek Hill. I wanted a proven commodity. I know what I'm getting out of Tyreek. Who knows what's happening with Treylon Burks in that situation. Yep. J-Mo is still going to be second fiddle to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mm-hmm. I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it, especially if you're a contending team. If you're rebuilding, Jay, if I sent you, and I think this is a deal that you can say it works both ways. If you're rebuilding, if you are like, man, my team is not very good, I've got to rebuild, and I sent you the 207 Treylon Burks and J-Mo for your Tyreek Hill, I feel like you would consider that.
I think the value is fine. Like if you're telling me, oh, J. Rich, I'll send you wide receiver 18 and wide receiver 25, I'm like, okay. It's the combination of the players and their situations and my projected outcomes for them, that gives me pause. But again, if that's what you want to sell your hill for, I mean, you have every right to do that. I'm not going to say you can't. It's two promising young players that were highly drafted, which is always good for Outlook's future in the NFL. But yeah, I mean,
what if I switch Treylon for Drake London? Does that make it different for you?
Yes.
Treylon or switch out J-Mo for Chris Olave?
Yes. Okay. Because again, then you're getting a player that, in my opinion, is a much more secure asset that showed a lot at the NFL level versus two that haven't shown a ton. A lot of promise, but have shown a lot less than some of those other guys you just mentioned.
Here's another Tyreek Hill trade. 10-team Superflex start 11. Wow. 107, 209 or Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
Easy.
Tyreek Hill every time.
Easy.
If that was locked in JSN, would you feel any differently about it?
It's not, though. It's not.
It's not. But that's why I had to ask you the question, because 107, you're right there. It may not be JSN,
is going,
but you're right
1-4 to 1-6 at the latest. He's going 1-4 to 1-6.
But if it was JSN, you're admitting that it makes it a little more interesting.
It does. It does.
A little more interesting.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely does. Definitely does. DeAndre Hopkins or David Njoku in the 302, 12-team Superflex. Nuke or Njoku in the third? Give me DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins.
I
like Njoku, though, but Hopkins.
What is going on?
Wow, Irv Smith isn't he? DeAndre Hopkins for Irv
PPR,
Smith in the
though.
207.
It's half people.
So what? He goes from catching 10 passes and getting 10 points to 5 points when he Irv Smith is not going to be the starting tight end in Cincinnati. Yeah. Give me DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me Nuke. Oh, blitzing buzzard, man. 12-team Superflex tight end premium start 11 lineup league. Ooh. Jay.
Ooh. Okay. Ray, let's start with this one. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Justin Fields, and the 102. So your choice of quarterback. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Justin Fields, and the 102 for Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, and Travis Etienne.
Whew.
This is very interesting. And Ray, I think I kind of want the package. I think I kind of want to roll the dice with the package. There is two packages, but you're getting Allen, which is phenomenal. And you're getting Diggs. So you have this stack, which is great. You get ETN, who we like, but you're getting two very good receivers in Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. That alone is great. You get Fields, who's a top 8 quarterback right now in terms of value production. We'll see.
And you get your choice
the
of
102. That's a pretty good package. I don't know which side I want. I think I'd be willing to roll the dice and trade Allen at that price. Do you feel any differently? Because you're a big Allen no matter what guy. Every trade with Allen, you're like Allen, but you're getting your boy Smitty and you're getting Waddle. Two top 13, 14 wide receivers right now.
This is a good
deal.
And
Fields.
This is a good deal. Best player in the deal is Josh Allen. Second best player in the deal, Superflex, is Justin Fields. 102 or Stephon Diggs?
Oh, I'd probably take the 102.
I think a lot of people would take the 102.
I think you'd have to. I love Diggs, but he's probably not worth what would you say he's worth? Once you get past the quarterbacks, like maybe 105, and even that feels a little bit bold for Diggs.
JSN or Stephon Diggs? Dynasty.
JSN. I think you have to.
This is a good... I want Allen. I want Diggs. I want ETN. But I think I'd be okay with moving off of them for Fields, the 102, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. I mean, you've got two floor 1,100-yard receivers in Smith and Waddle that can give you crazy spike weeks. I know it's not best ball, but even in a lineup format, they could pop off at any given week. Fields, here's the thing. You better have some strong conviction and feeling on Justin Fields. And I think he's 50-50 right now if he's going to be that guy long-term or not. I don't think anybody feels 100% safe with Justin Fields no matter what. I think this is his year where it's got to happen. Whereas Josh Allen, Jay, he's like, it's Josh Allen. There's no debate about it. So
101 in those Underdog Superflex leagues.
This really hinges on two pieces. Justin Fields in the 102. And you're still gambling with that 102. You take Bryce, you better pray and hope he's a top quarterback, right? A-Rich, we did a mock on Wake Up this morning. A-Rich goes to New England. You better be right. with Fields and that 102. Because moving off of Allen, if Fields doesn't pan out or doesn't improve and that 102 doesn't pan out, you lost this deal big time.
And I'm curious if you, like, to your point, Ray, I'm curious what you could try. Like, you just go, at that point, if I had that team, I would go to every manager. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes,
with
right?
The 102.
Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. And I think an interesting transition to this, and we haven't talked about Lamar Jackson really at all on this show. We haven't seen Lamar Jackson trades, but he's behind Justin Fields on KTC right now. Even if you wanted to make that lateral swap, Justin Fields for Lamar Jackson, I would feel more secure about what I'm getting next season if I had Lamar Jackson than Justin Fields right now. And I think if you wanted to package that 102 in Fields to go get a better quarterback, you could try. You may not get that quarterback, but it'd be interesting to see what you could get.
Fields in 102, let's just say he turns that into Justin Herbert. And this trade is Herbert, Smith and Waddle, Allen, Diggs, ETN. What side would you take?
I want Herbert, Smith, and Waddle.
I'm just not in the business of doing that kind of deal. Like, I'd rather just keep Allen, Diggs, and ETN opposed to having to take Fields and the 102 because you lose the leverage. Like, I teared up. Like, I don't want to. If I'm inside the top 8, I'm just not in the business of moving up from QB 8 to QB 5. I'd rather have Fields in the 102. Like, I'd rather just make that gamble on Fields in the 102. Like, I don't think what. For sure. I guess if I can do Fields in the 102 for Burrow, okay, because I think Burrow is a cut above Herbert, in my opinion. He's right outside of the top 4. But I would probably just...
But this is for your peace of mind, right? Is really all we're talking about. Is that
that's
I'm with
really
you.
what it is.
You probably want to roll... You're making this trade because you're getting a manager who is very uncertain about Fields. And if you're more certain and you're willing to break that bet, you want to roll with that bet because the upside of that 102 could return you a lot. And you could even trade that 102 for a pretty good player as well if you wanted to.
What a steal. Josh Allen, the 207 and the 302 for the 101, the 102, the 301, and the 109. Josh Allen, 12-team Superflex PPR. Easy deal. I was just scrolling up to see if I could find a Lamar one really quickly. There's so many. Damn, Elliott for 24 seconds. Smash. Uh-oh. I see a lot of stuff here. Let's finish with this one. 12-team, single quarterback, half PPR. Start 8, Jamar Chase, or...
Imagine trading for DJ Moore in a half PPR.
DJ Moore, the 107, 108, 210, or Jamar Chase, man. That's Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
All day long, Jay. All day long. All right. So a lot of trades in the old channel. Man. Get in here. That's all I can say. Get in the Discord, get in the channel. There are a lot of trades. This is the one I really want. I want people to talk about is that last one from Blitzing Buzzard. I'm very curious as to what people would do in this situation. Fields, 102, Jalen Waddle, Levante Smith, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Travis Etienne. Jay, good show. Went through a bunch of trades. There are a lot more that we couldn't get to. We appreciate y'all tapping in live on the premiere. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Jay, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here?
Go sign up on Underdog, man. Get in the channel, talk with us, strategize. I'm going to be dropping my little summary sheet, which features ADP changes, the spike week stuff, and all of that, so you can use that at your disposal. People have been loving that stuff so far. Promo code WAKEUP. Put in your $10. Put in your 100 so you can get in all these contests. But if you put in 10, we'll get you linked up to the Discord. You can chat with us. We can talk all kinds of stuff. Underdog. It'll be a lot of fun. This whole offseason is going to be great doing those best ball drafts and talking the value shifts. I'm excited to see where OBJ lands in Underdog now that he's on the move, right, in Baltimore. So it'll be interesting to see how that value changes. Every time something happens in the NFL world, Underdog will let you know how they feel about it. So that's always fun to look at. And that's one of the best resources they have for sure.
Absolutely. So make sure you tap into all the dope stuff that we're putting out on Destination Devi. Make sure y'all wake y'all asses up tomorrow for the Wake Up Show with myself and Jay Rich. We appreciate y'all tapping in at that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment for the algorithm. We are out. Peace. Before y'all close off of the video, I just want to say thank you for checking out the content on Destination Devi. Really appreciate every single view that we get. And the only thing that I ask is that you hit the thumbs up button, like the content, subscribe to the channel, and if you can, comment below for the algorithm. Really helps the channel grow. Now, if you want more exclusive access to me and the entire Destination Devi team, Patreon.com/allgas gives you that access. Now, if your money's a little funny, we do have free content for you. Make sure you subscribe to the All Gas newsletter. There's a link in the description of this video below, and subscribe to the Destination Debbie podcast radio feed, where we got all types of shows hitting airwaves every single week. Now y'all can get out of here. I appreciate y'all tapping in. It's All Gas all the time. I love y'all. I'm out of this thing. Peace.